What's going on, everybody? It's Keegan here. I'm back with another video once again, and it's time for another collection video. And today we're going to be taking a look at my Nintendo 64 collection for 2025. Now, this isn't the first time I showed my Nintendo 64 games. The last time I showed them was in another video that I uploaded 3 years ago, back in 2022. Now, at the time of me making the other video, I had a total of 15 games at the time. But in this video, I have a total of 24 games for the N64. So my collection has increased by 9, and I almost have 30 games in total. Now, I love the Nintendo 64. It's a great console. It's one of Nintendo's best consoles, in my opinion. And I don't really collect Nintendo 64 games very often. I buy a new N64 game to my collection every now and then whenever I find one that's interesting to me. So, yep, as per usual, I'll go by each game in alphabetical order, and we're going to talk about them one by one. So, yep. Anyways, without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's show off what I got. So we're going to start off with the only Nintendo 64 game that I own that's in a box, and that is Turok Dinosaur Hunter. This is the first one, and this is the Player's Choice copy. I got this one for $80. Yeah, as I said, this is the only Nintendo 64 game that's in a box that I have. I wouldn't mind getting more Nintendo 64 games that come with the box, but a lot of these can be pretty pricey, such as this one. But for now, this is the only one that I have that's in the box. It's a really fun first-person shooter game. Definitely one of the best FPS games on the Nintendo 64. Got some good graphics for its time. Got some good weapons. And all in all, it's a really, really fun game. I also have Turok 2 with the cartridges, but you'll see that later in the video. So now, from here on out, all the other games you're going to see in this video are just their cartridges. Body Harvest, haven't played this one in a very long time, but I remember it being a pretty good sci-fi third-person shooter game. It's a really hard game. I never actually been able to beat it, but it's a really fun game, and surprisingly pretty bloody too for a T-rated game. You'd think it would have gotten an M rating for a lot of the blood, but no, it's rated T. But other than that, it's a really, really fun game. Next is A Bug's Life. Haven't played this one in a very long time, but I remember this game not being very good at all. In fact, it's a terrible game. It's a movie-based game and not a very good one. Well, like so many games based on movies, they're usually pretty bad, and this is one of the bad ones. I don't really remember too much about it, but all I remember is that this game was just terrible, and I just only played it like maybe 2 or 3 times, and I never played it again. But I just have it in the collection just because. Next is Chameleon Twist. I haven't played this one in a very long time, but all I remember is that it was a platform game or something. It's not a bad game from what I remember. I know they did a sequel to it, but I don't have it. Not sure if I'll get it, but we'll see. But not a bad game from what I remember. Next is Diddy Kong Racing. I actually grew up playing the DS version of this game, and then when I got my Nintendo 64, I got this version of the game. I honestly prefer the Nintendo 64 version over the DS version, but that's just me. I mean, sure, you can do a lot of stuff in the DS version that you can't do on the Nintendo 64 version, but honestly, I just prefer the Nintendo 64 version. Either way, really, really fun game. One of the best racing games on the Nintendo 64. Donkey Kong 64, one of the only Nintendo 64 games that has a different colored cartridge. There's actually 3 of those in my collection, and this is one of them. The label is damaged. There was a barcode on it. When I tried peeling it off, it just tore the label, but that's all right. But really, really fun game. I never actually beaten it, but it's a really good Donkey Kong game. One of the best Donkey Kong games out there, alongside Donkey Kong Country. And yeah, you can't go wrong with this one. This one's a lot of fun. Next up is Doom 64. A pretty good game, and you got some good weapons. It's dark, and surprisingly, there is little to no music at all in the game. The only music you hear in the game is like, yeah, just there's hardly any music in the game. But really good game, although not the best Doom game ever made, but it's still a really fun game. And my only issue with the game is that it's so dark, you can't really see what you're doing unless you're playing this game in the dark or in a dark room. But other than that, it's a really fun game. Next, we got Glover. I believe they remastered this game a couple years ago. I never played the remaster. I just own this version, just the original Nintendo 64 version of this game. It's an alright game. It's not terrible. It is kind of tedious how you got to get the ball to the end of the level, and this game is kind of a pain in the ass, but it's not a terrible game, just not my favorite game in the world, but it's an alright game, I guess. Here's a good one. GoldenEye, one of the games that revolutionized the first-person shooter genre. And it really shows, I mean, sure, the game is pretty outdated and kind of hasn't really aged well, but what can you say? It's still a really fun game. And yeah, I think The World Is Not Enough is a better game than this. But that's just me. But still, this is a really, really fun game. Next up is Jet Force Gemini, another game from Rare. Really good third-person shooter game. You play as a boy, a girl, and a dog, and you gotta go around killing all these bugs and saving this planet. It's a really fun game. And it's quite fun to play too, and there's a lot of collectibles you can find throughout the levels, and there's some different weapons you can use, and haven't played too much of it. I really got to play it more, but from what I played, it's really, really fun, and one of the best games that Rare has done with Nintendo back when they were with Nintendo. Kind of wished Microsoft didn't buy them out, but yeah, it is what it is. The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. I do not have Majora's Mask, but I will try to find a copy of that game for the Nintendo 64. I also have this game on the 3DS as well, which I actually grew up with the 3DS version of this game. I actually found this game at a thrift store a while back, like back in June or something of this year. I totally was not expecting to find it at a thrift store, and it only cost me like $50. This is just the regular version, not the gold cart version, obviously. I love Ocarina of Time. It's one of my favorite Zelda games, and it's definitely one of the best Zelda games ever made. Although, for whatever reason, I was never able to beat Ocarina of Time on 3DS. I don't know why. I just haven't played it in years. But then I found this version of the game, and yeah, what can you say? It's one of the greatest games ever made, and one of the best, if not the best, Zelda game ever made. And just a great, great game. Next up is Mario Kart 64. This is the Player's Choice copy. Really fun racing game. Not much to say about it. It's Mario Kart. It's fun. And yeah, not much else for me to say about it. It's classic. Next is Mission Impossible. Not that good of a game. It's really not... Well, actually, I haven't played it in a very long time, but all I remember is that it's not really all that great, but It's all right, I guess. It has a lot of problems, but I don't know. I haven't played it in so long, so I can't really tell you much else about it. It was all right, I guess. Next is the new Tetris. Not much to say about this one. It's just Tetris, but Tetris is fun, and the graphics for this one looks really good too. I know there's more than one Tetris game that was released for the Nintendo 64, like Tetris Sphere. I think that's the only other one that I know of, including this one. But yeah, not much to say about it. If you know what Tetris is, then you know what it is. Pilotwings 64. One of the very first games ever released for the Nintendo 64, at least to my knowledge. I believe this was released the same day as Super Mario 64. It's a decent game. You just fly around in a plane, a wingsuit, I think. And I don't know, I haven't really played too much of this game. It's not a bad game. I mean, it's not the best game in the world. I'd say it's honestly better than Pilotwing Resort for the 3DS. That game isn't that good. But not bad. Well, for this game being one of the launch titles for the N64, you kind of have to give it some credit, even if the game's not all that great. But yeah, not much else for me to say about that one. Pokemon Snap. Not your average Pokemon game. This is a game where you take pictures of Pokemon and you show them to Professor Oak to unlock levels and pick out the best pictures. Sounds like a boring game, but it's actually not that bad. It's actually pretty fun. And I really like the music in this one too. Like, the music in this game is so good. And someone by the name of Sean Strobridge, I have no idea how you pronounce that. I think that must have been the name of the owner of the Nintendo 64 my aunt bought it from a long time ago. But I don't know. But it's a really fun. I think this game is really fun. I wouldn't say it's underrated, but I think this is a really fun Pokemon game. It's a lot different than your average Pokemon game, but it's a really, really fun game. And I know they did a sequel for it on the Nintendo Switch. I never played it though. Star Fox 64. Much like Ocarina of Time, I actually found this one at a thrift store not long ago. Well, back at the end of June. I got these both on the same day. Great game, although I don't like how whenever you die, like when you lose all your lives, you basically got to start the whole game over from the beginning. And on the 3DS version, you can just save and quit and just pick up where you left off. So that's kind of bullshit. But other than that, really fun game. Do a barrel roll. Super Mario 64. This is the player's choice copy. One of the best Mario games of all time, and the game that really revolutionized 3D platforming. And it's without a doubt one of the greatest games ever made and one of the best Mario games ever. Great level design, great music, great boss fights, great everything. And I actually prefer this version over the DS version. I mean, the difference is the many different things with the DS version is nice, but you can't quite beat the OG version on the N64, but that's just me at least. Super Smash Brothers, the one that started it all. I do love the Super Smash Brothers games. I grew up playing Brawl on the Wii because, well, that was the one I played the most as a kid. I also have Melee on GameCube, Brawl on Wii, and Ultimate on the Switch. While not exactly the strongest game in the franchise, but hey, it's the one that started it all, so you gotta give it credit where credit is due. It's really fun. Turok 2, Seeds of Evil. I played this one first, and then I played Turok 1, because this was one of the games that came with my Nintendo 64. It's a good game. I don't like the controls. Like you can use the C buttons to move, and you use the joystick to aim. Although, to be fair, the Nintendo 64 controller is probably the worst controller you could use for playing first-person shooter games. But you can change the controls in the settings and make the stick to move and the C buttons to aim. But other than that, it's a fun game. I think that game was slightly bloodier than the first one, if I remember correctly. Perfect Dark, another one of the best first-person shooter games ever released for the Nintendo 64. Love this game. I never played Perfect Dark Zero. I'm not in a rush to playing it because I heard that game is not very good. It's a shame that the reboot, what was going to be the reboot got canceled recently. That really sucks. But hey, it probably wouldn't compete. It wouldn't be able to compare with the greatness of this game right here. Really, really good game. I actually think this game was better than GoldenEye. Well, if you compare this game and GoldenEye as the better first-person shooter from Rare, I'd say this game was way better than GoldenEye, but hey, that's like my opinion, man. Wipeout 64, a solid racing game. It's got some pretty good graphics for its time, got some nice level designs, and it's got some pretty good music too, from what I remember. I haven't played this one in a while, but I remember it being pretty fun. Alright, we only got 2 games left, and then we'll be done this video. The World Is Not Enough. Like I said earlier with GoldenEye, I honestly prefer this game. I actually prefer this game over GoldenEye, but that's just me. I don't know, something about this game does it better than GoldenEye, at least for me at least, but I'm not really sure how to describe it. It's a really, really good game. I know there's also a version on PS1, but I heard the PS1 version is terrible. So, yeah. I actually like this one, and I actually also enjoy the movie too. I think the movie itself is a pretty underrated Bond movie out of the Pierce Brosnan era. And the last game I have for the Nintendo 64, Yoshi Story. Not much to say about this one. It's just a side-scrolling platform game where you play as Yoshi, where you gotta collect as much fruit as possible and beat some bosses and try to make your way to the end of the level. It's a very simple game, but pretty fun to play, and I really like the music in this one too. And yep, those are the games I own for the Nintendo 64. Well, that's going to be the end of this video, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed the video. As always, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment below, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later. Take it easy, everybody. Peace. Bye-bye.